Hey y'all, how's it going? Just wanted to show you what I'm up to today. I'm going to be switching out my dual shocks for the Losi LMT 2.0 for a single shock coil shock. I'm going to be using the Traxxas MAXX shocks. I saw on Reddit that this can be done, so we're going to try it, see what I need to do to get it switched over to single shocks. From what I've saw so far, get you on here. The only thing I'm going to have to do is swap out this dual shock bracket for the single shock bracket, which I do have on my old axle housings. So I don't really need to buy nothing for that. So this should be pretty much straightforward. If I come into any snags or any information that y'all should need to know, I'll record it. But let's get started. I'm going to get these swapped out and see how hard it's going to be, and then we'll go from there. So first things first, I'm going to take off the body as well as the tires. That way it makes it a little easier to work on all the way around. Okay, now that I got the tires and wheels off, you can see what I was talking about here, where I'm going to make the bracket that goes from dual shocks into the single shocks. So I'm going to get started on that, and then I will be right back. It's pretty much just as easy as taking off the bracket here, and then these two shocks, and everything is simple to get to. So we'll just buzz this right off. Using my 2.0 hex. Take off the 5.5 millimeter. Take that out. Buzz these off. So I'll start off with the bottom one first. Slide right out. And be careful, because these little keepers will come off, and then if they roll around on the floor, you're never going to find them. I do the same thing up here. There we go. Take that shock out. There it is. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't like the dual shock setup. It doesn't really like, I've had so many problems with these shocks blowing out. I recently just rebuilt these shocks, and they're still leaking. And I put that green slime on them, on the O-rings. I put the X rings on them, still leaking. So I don't know what the hell's going on with the shocks, but I don't like them, so we're gonna go to these. I just gotta see which ones I need to line up best. No, right there. That's where I'm going for this bracket right here. And with these shocks, from what I heard, you don't really need to have the limiting straps anymore. So that, buzz this off and buzz the new ones on. Take off the lower bracket. I can leave the two top brackets on just in case if later on down the road I do want to go back to dual shocks, but I really highly doubt it. Make sure I say, yep. I hope these brackets fit. I mean, they should. They're pretty much the same damn axle. Just these are a little stronger. The new ones are a little stronger. And we shall see. Yes, they're going to work. I'll just pop that back on. Make sure this is the right way. Yes, it is. Goes a lot faster when you have one of these drills. Slide this in there, make sure it fits. and that's not going to fit. So you know what? That's why I got a Dremel tool, and that's why I make it fit. I'll be right back. All right, so I got one corner done. It's it's not the prettiest, but it works. I could have gone with the green shocks, but green and blue wouldn't have made sense. So there's only really two options for the Traxxas MAXX shocks, so I went with the blue. So now I got 3 more corners to do. I'll show you how that goes. All right, so I got it all, every shock mounted up. I'm getting ready to put the tires back on. I got all the old shocks bagged up, and I'm probably going to end up selling them because I don't need them. The suspension is still pretty stiff. I think I might have to lighten up the shock oil and probably get some lighter springs for it. But other than that, at least there's no leaking, and it actually feels really, really good. I know it doesn't look scale anymore with these on it, but you know, I'd rather have it perform well than looking well. You know, that's the way I've always been. You know, as long as my stuff performs perfect first, performs well first, and then I can worry about the looks later. So that's it. I'm gonna tire it up. I'll get the other body on for it, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Oh, let me recap what I did before I put the tires back on. All right, let me recap what I did before I put the tires back on. Okay, so I took off the stock dual perch shock, the stock dual perch shock mount down on the axle. I put the single perch on, and I ran the front shocks, the front shock bracket. I did have to grind it down with my Dremel tool to make these the eyelets work in there, and they work really, really, really well. You know, I don't suppose I'll have any breakage, but if I do, that's when I'll end up getting the trios, and I'll take and just slice them off with the Dremel tool. I love my Dremel tool, but it was easy. It was so easy to mount these up, to get them to mount right. There's all the way around. Got them all. So, all right, let me get the tires on. And there she is, all tired up and ready to roll. Like I said before, the stock configurations of the MAXX shocks are a little too stiff. But once I play around with the shock oils and the get a softer spring for it, they should work really, really well from what I've gathered up. So I hope you found this here helpful. If not, I'm sorry. But all right. Well, that's it. Y'all have a good weekend. Later.